we knew it was going to be a war with Florida State. There were a lot of things that we were playing for in that match, and none of us had forgotten what happened a year ago when we went to Minnesota for that Sweet 16, and a lot of people had, Purdue favored to win up there and advance to our first Final Four ever at Purdue in the sport of volleyball. And Florida State came in and was the hot team in the country, and we could not beat them. And we blew a couple leads in 2 games, and our kids had that very firmly in their memory bank, and they'd been waiting 51 weeks for an opportunity to play Florida State again. And the other thing is, to me, which was even more important, was we wanted to be here in our Sweet 16. You don't want to host a party and then not show up and be a good host. So I know that we were playing for a chance to come back and play in Mackey Arena in front of a great Purdue crowd. And so there was a lot of motivation. And our team just played a great match. We came out in game 1, and again, you're talking about a team following a game plan. We had a defensive plan that we wanted to follow. We had an offensive plan that we needed Rachel Davis to lead us towards, and I thought the first game was just the epitome of that. Very disappointing second game. We had a big lead of 21-17, and we got into a tough rotation, and they had their best server. So when you're in a tough rotation on your side, and then they've got their best server, sometimes that can create some issues, and it did in that particular game. They scored 8 straight points, kind of thoughts of a year ago when they did the same thing to us. They stormed back and won game 2. So we went back to, normally you go back to a locker room, but in this facility they didn't have locker rooms close enough, so we actually took our group outside, and thank goodness we were in Tallahassee and not Minneapolis. But we got the group a little bit refocused, but I was still concerned how they would respond to getting beat and given 8 straight points up. And now instead of being up 2-0, clearly in the driver's seat, now it's 1-1. And now you're even with the team on their court where they've won 27 matches in a row and feel pretty good about themselves. But credit our players. We came out, controlled the entire game 3, actually won it going away, and went into game 4, and again feeling like we were in the driver's seat. But that didn't last long because they controlled that game. And funny thing happened at 22-13. I decided to get Ariel Turner out of the match. So I pulled Katie Griffin off the bench, and Griffin has been pretty much a spot player all season. Really great teammate and terrific person, but we haven't used her a lot this year, less probably this year than we have any other year. But I felt like she would be a great person to come in, give us a little bit of an emotional lift, and rest Ariel for a time. She gets a kill on her first swing. She gets a block the next time on the next ball. And before we know it, that 22-13 lead that they had was down to about 22-21. And they went up 23-21. We made it 23-22, 24-22, 24-23. I'm thinking we might win this thing in 4. And then I think we had a net violation, and they won at 25-23. But Griffin changed the entire game and the momentum of that match by coming in and getting some kills, getting the block, giving us some enthusiasm. And then we went to game 5. We put Turner back in that spot, but put Griffin in a different spot because I felt like she was the hot shooter. So we stayed with her, and a nip and tuck game up until about 10-9. I think they had a lead at one point 10-9, and then we scored 6 of the last 7 points to win that, and the celebration began. And it was, I think, a match that I know that our coaching staff celebrated more than any other that we've had since we've been here, just because it allowed us to come back and be part of a regional that we're hosting. And